Hey, did you ever hear or do something that you just had to do again? Well, that's what's happening today. About 2 years ago, we had a very exciting and interesting guest who had a different point of view. She wrote a book. The book was called Dear World, See What I See. And she does see things a little differently. Worth hearing, worth seeing, and definitely worth seeing and hearing again. My name is Vin Dacquino. Our next guest, Shanti Urreta. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Shanti, you have a different way of seeing things, and little by little, you have been winning me over, and I want you to do the same thing for this audience today. Talk to me a little bit about what you believe and what you see.
Well, Vinny, while I see a world that is hurting, I see our planet hurting, I don't know if people are actually seeing what's happening. And so, see what I see is, I want you to see what is actually happening to our planet.
Your eyes have been opened. You didn't always feel the way you feel. Something dramatic happened in your life that changed you into a whole new person.
Absolutely.
Would you mind sharing that?
Would love to. 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma,
Wow.
a blood cancer.
Wow.
And doctors pretty much told me that I had 5 years to live. And I went into panic mode, of course.
Of course.
And for 5 weeks, I believed that I had 5 years to live. And a chiropractor friend of mine, he told me, get off of meat, get off of dairy,
Wow.
go organic, and juice your vegetables. And I could fight this multiple myeloma that I had. Well, after 5 weeks, it was determined that it was a misdiagnosis.
Wow.
But life had taken me from this path, total turnaround.
Now, at this time, you were a mother. There was a lot to lose there. It wasn't only your life. You would have affected many lives. So you were married, you had a child. And
Two children.
Two children.
Two children.
And so it was scary.
It was scary. And to change my whole lifestyle from no meat, no dairy, go organic and juice your vegetables, that was something totally foreign to me. Because I pretty much grew up with the standard American diet, SAD as we call it.
I hear you.
And I really didn't know, I was no great chef in the kitchen.
So you were not a vegan in those days.
No.
You
No.
were like the rest of us, had
Yes.
standard American diet.
Yes.
Sad.
Sad.
And that was your reason.
Yes.
But since then, your reasons have kind of changed because the more you looked into it, the more you understood that sad was pretty sad. Because while we maintain our diet, there's other things happening to the rest of the planet, the rest of the world.
Well, Vinny, I'm very happy to be living the lifestyle that I do. And one of the really good things is that I am healthy. And I look at people and see their osteoporosis and their heart disease and their diabetes and their cancers. And I say, people, I want you to see what I see so life can be different for you.
Yeah, so these people who say, I need my meat, they don't need their meat. They want their meat.
Right.
Which is different.
Right.
And their wanting meat is costing the planet.
Well, it's not only costing the planet, it's costing their health.
Ah, okay.
And I think people need to see that first. Because when you're so involved in going to this doctor and, oh my goodness, I don't feel good, and you're so absorbed in yourself that first you need to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. And then you can see what else is going on out there. And so after I said, okay, let's take care of my diet so that I can survive, I started seeing other things. And the first thing that I saw was the plight of the animals. And while so many people say, we need our meat to survive, and if I need to survive, well, then that's what has to happen to an animal. We don't need meat to survive. We're actually eating meat and killing ourselves. And people have a hard time seeing that.
Yeah, I took your advice, and instead of a slab of Canadian bacon for breakfast, I tried a bowl of bran flakes instead and tried to cut down on me. I didn't cut it out. I'll be honest with you. I didn't cut it out, but I certainly cut it way back. And by doing that, you are right. I have been healthier, feeling healthier. Meat slowed me down. And
Absolutely.
You know, I at first I just yesed you, but I'm believing you more and more.
Right now I have a group of people that I am transitioning with them to a plant-based diet.
I went to your house with a group of them and watched a movie with you that opened my eyes dramatically.
Cowspiracy.
Yes, Cowspiracy.
Yes.
Helped me to understand something I didn't have any idea about. And that is that eating meat is not only killing cows, but keeping those cows alive to kill them also is hurting the planet. That the fact is that industry is forcing us to feed all of these animals, and the waste from these animals have to go somewhere. So
we're destroying our waters.
Yeah.
We're destroying our air.
They have to drink. They have to eat. So by creating all of these extra animals to kill them, we have to keep them alive as well.
Exactly.
So there's a whole another side to it. It's not only the cruelty of killing animals, it's breeding them to kill them.
It's not just the cruelty of killing the animals, it's the cruelty of confining these animals for their whole lives. The dairy industry is the worst to these mother cows because I know so many people who will tell me, oh, I don't eat veal. I wouldn't do that to the little baby cows. But they don't realize that the dairy industry runs on keeping these mother cows impregnated, artificially impregnated, no less. And 2 days later, they are stealing those babies away from the mothers.
Yeah,
and it's a horrendous practice that we do.
Have you seen the latest commercial on TV for poultry, where they have a commercial about free-range chickens? And they have this chicken who's free range, so he travels, and he's traveling across the country because he's free to go wherever he wants to go. And he's sending pictures back to the farmer. And they're trying to make it seem that these animals have such a wonderful life because they're free range. Free range
and it's such
to
a
be
lie.
killed. Setting up.
It's such a lie. Even those free range animals don't see the light of day. They just have a little bit more than a locker space.
So what you're saying is that this industry is helping us to see what they want us to see.
Exactly.
And you, on the other hand, want us to see your world. That there is another way.
Not my world. Our world.
Our world.
Our world.
That's right. That it's not just your way of living. It is your way of living.
Yes.
But it's a way of living that affects all of us.
Yes.
That little by little, we are in fact destroying the planet.
Not
all
little by little.
Big by big.
Fast by fast.
Yeah.
We are destroying our planet. Scientists say by the year 2048, there will be no ocean life.
Now, and that is why. Why will there be no ocean left? Are we throwing waste into the ocean? Are we using that water?
That's number one. We are throwing so much waste in. All the runoff from the factory farms eventually lands up in the rivers, goes down to the oceans. There is a dead zone in the ocean that is as large as a small state.
Wow.
Where no ocean life can exist. And it's not only that. You know where we throw our garbage? All the animals that are affected in there. Overfishing. We take these huge nets and just totally take whatever is in its path. And not only do the fishermen get what they want, but they get all of these other fish that just get discarded. And so not only the tuna becoming slowly extinct also. We're just eliminating all the fish that are in there. And
we're taking what we want and not what we need. We're taking more than what
we're taking with greed.
Greed.
And once extinct is forever. And by 2048, I'm going to still be here. Hopefully, we'll have another talk in 2048, Vinny.
Yeah, we'll bring you back again for show
Good.
396.
And say, people, we need to see this. What I try to do is gently ask people, just look a little bit.
Yeah.
You're a kind person, Vinny, aren't you?
No.
You're a kind person. Your values are probably one of the highest. You've been a teacher for how many? 35 years?
Yeah, 35 years.
So your values are very high. But what's happening with a lot of people is they have values that look like this, but they live like this. And what I'm trying to do is very gently show people how to live with their values in alignment with how they live.
Now you've been getting around, and you've been going to different places and doing talks. You'll be doing one soon at the Mahopec Library. What is in this book? If I read this book, what am I going to hear, Shanti? What did you put in this book? One thing I love about you is that you're not forcing your beliefs on anyone. You're simply asking people to see what you see and to make their own decisions. But some of what you see is pretty powerful. So in this book, if I should read this book, what is it going to tell me? Are there facts in here? Is it, what?
The book is titled "Dear World, See What I See: My Vegan Path."
My vegan
And so
path.
it starts with health. My path continued. I started to see the plight of the animals. And if anybody's interested, Google vegan, and you'll see plenty of videos to see what I see. Then I started to see what we're doing to the planet. And then I started to see what it meant for our spirit. And what it means for our spirit is something that you actually have to feel. And once you become vegan and start on this path, you're going to see that what I'm doing to all these animals is actually hurting all of us. Yeah. And the way that we hurt all the other beings on this planet is really coming back to us.
I remember in Cowspiracy there was a statement about how many actual cows there are. There's like millions of these animals being raised.
59 billion.
59 billion.
Animals are slaughtered every year. If you started counting
a year?
If you started counting when you were a baby, it would have taken you 95 years to count to 1 billion.
Wow.
I mean, those numbers are just
phenomenal.
Incomprehensible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we go into supermarkets and we just see slabs and slabs and slabs of all different kinds of meat. So what you're saying is we could eat a whole lot less. If not cut it out, we certainly need to cut it down. You're saying cut it out. Now,
You cannot put a little terror.
say that again?
When you hurt an animal, that's putting out a little terror. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? To put out a little terror?
Yeah, I hear you. So in a war, if you only kill 10,000
Exactly.
instead of 30,000,
Is that
does
okay?
that mean it's okay?
Okay, well, I do a little bit of good for the animals. Is that good enough for you?
You're saying we all need to try harder.
I'm saying, look at what is happening out there. I'm saying, look at who you are. Do you really believe that it's okay to say, you wouldn't go into a slaughterhouse right now and say, okay, I'm going to take that cow and I'm going to hang him up and I'm going to slaughter him. Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't.
But when you sit down to your meal, you're asking somebody to do that for you.
I hear you.
And you're
Just
saying
because
it's
you're
okay.
not doing it doesn't mean it's not getting done.
Right.
It's still happening.
It's still happening.
Okay, so now let's go to another side. Vegan. I talk to people and they go, I'm not going to be a vegetarian, eat rabbit food. Get out of here. I'm going to eat salad 3 times a day. That's not going to happen. Tell me about, when I came to your house, we had a wonderful meal and I had 4 or 5 different things. Every one of them was delicious and none of them had meat in it. Also, very interesting, I brought a bag of popcorn to your house because we were going to watch a movie, and you said, no, that's not vegan. And I said, get out of here, popcorn? And you said, yeah. What's on the popcorn?
Did I say it like that?
Butter? Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
Butter. So I said, yeah, butter. And you said, yeah, think about what it takes to produce the butter. Think about what it takes to produce milk. Shanti, I know you have the facts there. What does it take to produce a gallon of milk? These cows have to drink a whole lot of water.
If the number is right, I believe it's 1,000 gallons of water to produce a gallon of milk.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a lot of water to do because these cows have to eat and drink.
And Vinny, people will say, oh, look at her. She's talking about the poor animals. But what about all the people that are being killed in this world? What about all the people that are starving right now?
Those cows are eating their grain.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
Exactly.
Somebody has to feed those cows, and what those cows are eating could be food for the poor.
Exactly.
And we're talking about homeless people who are starving, and we're giving it to the cows instead, and then killing them and eating them.
16 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of beef.
Wow. How many?
16 pounds of grain
Oh, my God.
to produce 1 pound of meat.
Think of what 16 pounds of grain could feed.
And so when people say, oh, why don't you care about the starving people? Why do you care about the animals? I do. But it all
Starving people are affected by
this. It all starts with this. People, I have a lot of people on Facebook, and one of them is constantly saying, Shanti, why don't you care about all the people that are being killed in all the wars? Why don't you care about that? I do. There's a difference between a plant-based eater and a vegan. So a plant-based eater just eats
Okay, we're going to say that slowly and clearly. Plant-based eater. So a plant-based eater is a vegan, but a special kind of vegan?
A plant-based eater just eats plants. They may wear leather. They may support circuses. They may support zoos. A vegan is a lifestyle. It's a philosophy where you live your life doing the least amount of harm possible to any being. And I know I'm criticized, well, you know what, when your vegetables are being grown, you're hurting a lot of animals. I understand that, and you know, nobody here is perfect. But what I try to do is I try to live my life doing the least amount of harm possible to an animal. I don't need to put leather shoes on. The leather industry is horrendous. Horrendous. I mean, as soon as I say it, I see these visuals that I've seen on these videos.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is, they're horrendous. If you want to watch videos, go on Mercy for Animals, go on PETA videos, and you'll start to see. And when you see these things, and that none of that is in my book, because I don't want people to close my book.
Right.
So I've just directed people, go see Mercy for Animals, go see PETA, go see those videos. Because when you see that, you start to say, you know what? I don't need leather shoes. I don't need a leather bag. I don't need to eat. I don't need to put food on my plate and cause that suffering.
Yeah. I mean, the motto, I know the motto for Schools Against Violence in Education is do no harm.
Exactly.
And do no harm is 3 very simple words, but 3 very big words. That in your life, you should try to do no harm. And you're saying do no harm to animals, do no harm to your planet,
Exactly.
do no harm to your health.
Exactly.
So all of this ties together. And the big key is lifestyle. To try to change your lifestyle. That's not easy. People, one of the most difficult things for people is change. So
that's why I will help people. I will help you. Come be part of my group. I'm supporting people in making this transition. We meet every week, and we
come, I won't bring popcorn.
Okay. And we make this transition.
Yeah, I hear you.
And you know what? When you see, well, you say change is not easy. Okay, change is not easy. But when you see all those other things, people ask me, isn't it hard to be vegan? I say, to me, it's hard not to be vegan.
So one of the things about this that I have to get my hands around is the fact that originally, I believe that what you were saying is change from the normal, natural way of life to your way of life. But it's really not true. Eating all this meat is not a natural, normal way. It's what we have become. And it isn't natural to eat all the meat that the world eats, producing billion cows to kill every year.
59 billion.
Natural. With the what?
59 billion.
59 billion. It's not natural.
No.
You have really opened my eyes. This past weekend, I was up in Catskills and driving down the roads, looking at all these cows spread out across the field, so serene and natural and beautiful. Yesterday. Today, it's not so serene and natural and beautiful. As I drive by now, I look at them and realize that they're being prepared for slaughter. And
those are the lucky ones.
yeah, those
See
are
the
lucky
females
ones.
who are confined.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So
and
it's a whole new world. So, Shanti, you are going to continue to spread the word. You are not a politician. You are not standing on a soapbox, preaching to people what they better do. You're just asking them to see what you see, to try to understand the effects of our lifestyle, and to try to see your lifestyle and make it ours, and make this world a better place to live in.
make this place a world to live in. Because if we continue down the path that we're going,
we're going to destroy our world.
We're destroying it right now.
Yep.
And right now we believe there may be a turning point. But
So-
if we continue, there may not be a turning point. We may be living a planet that's uninhabitable to our children.
So do we need to talk to our senators and our congressmen?
Absolutely.
And we need to try to convince the people in power that something wrong is going on.
Yes, but in the meantime, the first thing we need to do is to change ourselves. Because To
Start
change
here.
the world, we need to change ourselves.
Take a look at the man in the mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just see and at least try to be aware
Be aware.
of what really is happening.
Be conscious of what you're putting on your plate and what it took to get that food on your plate. And see if that's in alignment with your values. Is that something that you care about? And we talk about, we were talking about the wars. I believe I live my life doing the least amount of harm possible to any animal. I am a vegan. An animal, we are animals. So vegans do not believe in killing anybody.
So, and it's not just a matter, we have to make that clear. That's one thing that really stands out in my mind. It's not the fact of just killing the animals, it's raising them to kill them. It's not just taking the animals that already exist, it's producing more and more. Artificial insemination, creating these animals to slaughter. And that's what you're really against too. This whole industry of making more and more animals so that you could have more and more meals.
And that's the way our society is. Do more, make more money, get more.
It's a big industry. It's a big fight you have here because there's a lot of people making a whole lot of money on this industry.
I don't want to call this a fight because that's not who I am.
Okay. It's not a fight. It's a lifestyle.
Not a fight. It's a lifestyle and education. It's
So
all about
Shanti,
education.
you are going to be at the Mayapack Library. That date hasn't been set yet?
We can check, they can check Mayapack
check
Library
the Mayapack or Mahopac, depends on who you are and where you are.
website,
And-
or check my site,
Yep, or you can check your site. Now, what is your site again?
ShantiUrreta.com.
ShantiUrreta.com. Go on there. Ladies and gentlemen, today, what we're asking you to do is see what Shanti sees. No one's going to force you to do anything except be aware. You don't have to do what she does. You have to hear what she has to say. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Shanti, thank you for being here. On behalf of all of those animals who are going to slaughter today,
We send them love.
yep, we send them your love. Please, if you get a chance, read this book, go online, learn about veganism, and stay tuned for other authors, other times. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here today.